Hi guys, Awful Ed Walcott here. I'm really glad to bring you this training, which is tips for overcoming rejection as you go on to recruit 27 new customers in only your first 14 days. Now, you'll see a lot in my videos. What I do is I'll interrupt the video with a short video clip of just some of my many clients who literally have recruited numbers that they thought hitherto absolutely impossible. And when I say about recruiting 27 new people when you're completely brand new, during the course of the video, I'm going to interrupt it with some brief videos of other people like Dean and Elaine and Claire and others who literally were where you were now, often years and years of failure, who were able to follow my training by clicking the link down below and gaining access to my limited time, instant, free 5-day video series, my instant rapport and sales training, and were able to recruit numbers they didn't even think possible. Now, I want to dive into today's training because when it talks about your tips for overcoming fear of rejection, this is something which many people don't admit to, which is the fear of rejection, because I realize that I can show you the very best methods to instantly get leads and getting sales within your first few days when you click the link down below. But I realize, why is it certain people, or most people, follow what I say and get results, as you'll see in the videos, but there are some people who, excuse me, they drag their feet. Now, I'm not going to condemn you if you dragged your feet. Why? Because when I first started, I did. Literally, when I first started, I'll never forget, it was a Thursday afternoon, and I was wearing a blue shirt just like this. I recall it so clear. And I had 18 numbers to call. And I put it off for hours and hours and hours. Literally, I was so scared. I mean, I was cleaning the house. I went out for a run. Literally, I did everything. The fear absolutely, it's like my throat became tight at the prospect of having to call these people. But I knew it was part of the journey, that if I was going to build a gigantic team, and I've gone on to build teams, plural, very profitable teams, that as a leader, I had to do the things that I could then tell my people they must do as well. And so literally I did that, and here is what I found. I'm going to share my story with you. What I found was this: for weeks and weeks and weeks, I put off calling those people. And what I found, when I picked up the phone and began speaking to people, guess what I found? The fear of what I thought it was going to be, it was nowhere near as bad as it was. Literally, were one or two people a bit rude? Yes, but I think only at the most about 2 people were slightly off. Of 18 people, and I then went on to call an extra 32 people in the next few days, only about 3 people were slightly off. The rest were either very, very nice. At the time, I just got started, so I had about 3 sales. Not bad when you're just starting, but most people who didn't buy were generally quite nice. Here is the point I make when it comes to tip number 1 to dealing with fear. Most of the things you fear are all in your head. Honestly, now, the key thing is this: when it comes to fear of rejection, and I'm almost jealous that you get to do this and I didn't. I had to learn the hard way through years. When you click the link down below to my limited time 5-day training, there's a way I show you how to literally ensure that prospects, before you speak to them, are much more likely to say yes. And here's a bit of a tip. I then show you literally on day 3 how there are certain messages I send on Facebook Messenger, which what it does, it pre-qualifies people, so it ensures that before you even speak to people, they're literally 8 out of 10 to 9 times out of 10 likely to buy from you. And again, you've seen the short videos I show, and the key thing is this, is that what would it mean therefore if every time you pick up the phone, using my system, there's an 80% to 90% chance that person is ready to buy from you. So the key thing the way I grew up into the internet, network marketing, affiliate marketing industry, whereby I had to do lots and lots of cold calling, you don't have to do that. Plus, as well, in my system, we actually have coaches who will call your people for you. So in terms of the fear of rejection, it really is a lot easier for you now than it was for me. But let's get into it, some more tips though. So first thing is when it comes to this, is don't ever get emotional. Now, this can be really hard. You think, well, it's an attack on me. But that's just it. Whenever you fear rejection, you've got to understand that in building a large business, everything starts with mindset. You've got to have a mindset that says, I am building a large empire, and no one or two people or three people or four people who don't like what I stand for are going to stop me. So long as there's breath in my body, God-given breath, God-given mission, I am going to make it and impact thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. You've got to have that steel, granite, literally mindset. And the way you do that is this. Number one, you've got to literally take seriously fortifying your mind. The way your mind works is this, is the more you feed your mind by listening to the right audio training. What I do, for example, every night is literally I will listen to tapes on YouTube of certain powerful people like Les Brown, other people like T.D. Jakes, certain people, the late Miles Monroe. These are people who, as you listen to these people, number one, and number two, make sure that your closest associates are people who are successful orientated, people who aren't concerned with your past or your present but want to go into your future. What happens is you become so ironclad in your thinking that you just don't fear rejection. There's another YouTube video I do on how to deal with haters, and dealing with haters, overcome fear of rejection, is very similar in that it's all about mindset and fortifying your mind. Let me tell you a story. I'll never forget again another time when literally I had to do some cold calling I just bought this sort of email list. It was a list of emails, and I think you paid someone quite a lot, about $500, and you got about 300 phone numbers. And I called this couple. They were in the Southern Hemisphere, and I called them, and this guy was unbelievably rude, and I put the phone down. And then, I was angry. I was angry. He was unbelievably rude. And I then called my mentor. My mentor then mentor, burst out laughing. He said, Orville, here's the thing. When number one, we all go through that. Number one. Number two, when if you can get through this and pick up the phone again in the next few seconds and get calling, you'll become so strong that you'll become bulletproof. And the key thing is that he said, well, most people at that point, and they had that rejection, they wouldn't have called their mentor. They'd have simply just hung up, and weeks and weeks and weeks would have gone by. They then would have found a reason to quit. Now, the thing is this, is when you click down below, part of my means to help you is going to be my own private Facebook group, of which I'm going to invite you into. Why? Because I want to help you to grow, because you cannot become mentally stronger and avoid fear of rejection just on your own. Now, the key thing is, in my 5-day video series, I show you how to reduce objection. In fact, on day 4 of the free training, when you click down below for my free instant rapport sales method, I show you methods whereby people like Chadia and Lisa, who'd failed for years, went from a 1 in 10 closing ratio. That means for every 10 people they spoke to, 9 in 10 said no, to then getting a 6 in 10, even 7 in 10 closing ratio. Now, that information you get when you click down below for my free series. How exciting would that be? Next, when it comes to handling rejection, I've got them written down here, is whatever you think you fear doing, just do it. Now, Dan Penner inserts the F word, which I won't use, but he said rather than just do it, like Nike says, he says just use the F word, which I won't use, but you can tell what the word is. He says just do it, just use the F word, do it. And the reason being is there's got to be an aggression. Every single thing you're doing in your marketing, growing your business, you go out and do it, because the best way to overcome fear is whatever is causing you fear, build momentum. Build momentum. I told you on one video on overcoming fear was that when I had some people laugh at some of my YouTube videos, I forgave them, and I literally doubled or quadrupled the amount of content in terms of YouTube videos, Facebook Lives that I did. And from that month, there's people laughing at me. I then went on to have a month later my first breakthrough month of $9,000 in 1 month. I would have made it 10,000, but one person only came through the sale the month after. And I look back at that and I think, imagine if I'd given in to my fear of rejection then, I would not have done the things I needed to do to have the results then. Because you see, when it comes to success in life, it's all about these 3 steps. Step 1 is your mindset. Step 2 is the actions, the daily actions that you put in or don't put in. And then number three, the results. Your results, the money you make follows the activity that you do day in, day out. But you only put the activity in, day out, if your mindset and thinking is right. And that is so key. Now, to help you reduce rejection, not eliminate it, but reduce it and get massive sales, you need to click on the link down below to get my free limited edition instant 5-day video series, because what I do is show you ways to position yourself as a leader to make people want to follow you. Because the key thing is, when your content is bang on and you're seen as a problem solver, it reduces a lot of the rejection. Rejection often happens when people either don't know you or don't perceive you as someone who's in it to help them. Therefore, when your content shows that you're in it to help them and they see you as a problem solver rather than someone who's just interested in selling, then your rejection goes down and your sales go up. I have a saying: be focused on serving rather than selling. They may think, well, what does that mean? It's simple. Be focused on serving and solving problems rather than selling. When you do that, I promise you, your rejections will go down and your sales will go up. But to discover how to do that, click the link down below and go through to my limited edition 5-day series whereby I show you literally for free how to gain access to quality material that literally boosts your sales and reduces your rejections. This video, like it and share it as well with those you care about, and I'll see you on the inside. Take care. God bless.